Please leave a message after the...
When it comes to the mass shootings, I don't really bring them up on the podcast because I don't really have anything to add.
You talk about the New Zealand one, yeah?
Yeah. And because as Brits, we always, we look at the Americans like, anywhere outside with the gun laws. And we're just like, you guys, you're just killing yourselves, so to speak. I know it's harsh, but I've seen a lot of, we're always looking down on people with no gun laws or just guns locally or whatever. And we're just like, how can you guys do this? So anyway, there's a reason why I want to bring up this story particularly, because there's a trend with all these mass killers. They have their reasons, their, racist or bigoted reasons for doing this, but they always want fame, right? So I'm gonna play a clip because the guy who I'm not gonna name, I'm not gonna give him any fame, the guy who did these killings, he had a manifesto and he was saying subscribe to PewDiePie. He was trying to really be known, trying to connect. He live streamed it as well, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, that was
on
crazy,
fucking Facebook of all places as well. Obviously, because he didn't have a lot of watches, Facebook didn't find it until it was way, way too late. Copied videotapes all over these places.
Yeah.
It's probably all over the place now.
Yeah, YouTube did a good job.
I've seen it, man. It looks like a video game. That's the sad thing.
In the news, they show bits of it in the news clips. Have you seen it? So
It's sad, man.
I'm going to play a clip and I want to discuss something I've always wanted to talk about a bit. This isn't related to this story in particular, but I just want to relate it to this story for a reason. And more importantly, it is very a dicey thing to bring up, but I do want the listeners' intake on this as well. So I'm going to put out a point of discussion and I want you guys listening to send in voicemails of what you think about this as well. It's very harsh and very crazy, but it's time for me to bring this up.
PewDiePie is denouncing the deadly mosque attacks in New Zealand after a suspected gunman mentioned him during a live stream of the crime.
Remember, lads, subscribe to PewDiePie.
The shocking video of the shooting was streamed on Facebook and appears to show a man enter the houses of worship while firing at people. At least 49 were killed. PewDiePie, whose real name is Felix Kjellberg, said on Twitter, "I feel absolutely sickened having my name uttered by this person. My heart and thoughts go out to the victims, families, and everyone affected by this tragedy." Authorities in New Zealand say the suspect is a 28-year-old Australian man. He's been charged with murder. Reports say an account believed to belong to the suspect posted a manifesto on the attack, praising white nationalists and condemning immigration. 3 others were taken into custody.
Again, I don't want to give this guy any celebrity or any mention his name or anything like that. And I really think that the news organizations, there's this movement happening now where people are like, these mass shootings happening so much and these guys want fame so much. They say the reasons why they do this is because they want to top each other. I want to kill 70 people. They want to keep topping each other, which is a horrendous and ludicrous reason to keep on doing it. But the news organizations are coming up with this idea that a lot of people don't like. But after this killing spree in particular, the New Zealand are embracing it, where they're not mentioning the killer's name at all in any shit form or fashion.
Yeah, I don't hear his name. I don't know his name is. I don't know who he is.
Well, New Zealand are saying they're trying not to celebrate this guy. And here's my thing. New Zealand also do not have the death penalty, right? When it comes to these, I'm just going to just put it out there straight away. No fucking about. I'm not going to pussyfoot around this at all. It's not like I'm super for the death penalty, but when it comes to mass murderers, I don't give a fuck. Kill them. Get rid of them.
That's what they want, though. That's the easy way out. Easy.
Well, you know what? And this is the thing. A lot of people are like, it's not humane and it's not a true punishment, like you said, because a lot of them do kill themselves after they do the kings, right?
Yeah.
Some of them want the faith, some of them don't, so they can stick around and be worshipped and idolized and hated and have that notoriety, right? So New Zealand don't have the death penalty, but some people have been talking about a different kind of punishment because they're like, how can you punish this guy? Because a lot of human rights groups says that although we're going to imprison them, we're not going to starve them, we're not going to torture them, that's inhumane.
Send them to Saudi Arabia.
Do you know what? I honestly think one of the things I think that people should do is, I think there should be like an island.
They've got an island there. I think it's called Christmas Island.
Okay.
Where apparently, this is what I was told, that they put a lot of the immigrants there. It's like a tropical. It's like supposed to be a beautiful island
in New Zealand.
Like it's around. I think it's Australia owns it, but they put a lot of the immigrants there, and they've got like a little base and everything. They can live there. They put them on like a separate island. This is what I was told by some Australian guy. It's called Christmas Island or something.
I think these people should lose their identity, and what I mean by that is I think their name should be just taken away from them, their identity, their citizenship, everything, and they should be just put on an island, just be that non-existent. I don't think they should keep their name anymore. Their identity just all gone.
But
They should be like a number.
Yeah, but he would always remember his name and stuff, isn't it?
Well, there's only so much you can do. If this was Star Trek, then, if you erase his memory, that is like killing him in a way, by the way, because then he doesn't even know he's not even the same person.
They should put him in a Turkish prison, yeah? Leave him in there. 'Cause
So my question to you guys is, people always talk about the non-lethal way of punishing these people, because just letting them live. Like I'm like all for getting rid of. They want the notoriety. They want to be remembered. I'm like, shave their head, like even fucking chain their face. Make sure they're not even recognizable. They literally don't exist anymore. Put
them in a segregation the rest of their life. That's how you torture someone.
Segregation.
Yeah, so you separate from isolation. Put them by themselves.
Solitary confinement.
Yeah,
Kind of thing.
they don't have any human interaction.
That too.
That will destroy a person.
I know it's a fucked up subject for me to bring up, but I just keep seeing this, and these guys just go to jail and they don't get the death penalty. A lot of countries don't. America, only certain states, not every state in America even has a death penalty either. So what do you guys think?
I mean, for me, I don't have a lot of creative ideas when it comes to like how to punish someone, but I don't think people need to.
Do you believe in the death penalty?
That's a tough one for me, because I don't necessarily, I'm not against it per se. Like, if you take a life, then if a country if you take a life in a city or country that has the law that you will get killed, like that definitely exists, then you took that gamble, or you took that risk, or you did it for whatever reason. And
forget about that though. Forget about what the law of the land says. You're the judge. You can just decide his fate.
Personally, I don't. If I had to make a decision on it, no, then I would not do it, just because there is always that chance of wrongful conviction. Obviously, in this instance, like,
what about a mass murderer though?
Yeah, obviously, in this instance, it's undeniably him. Everyone knows that this guy did it. He live streamed it.
Yeah,
but even then, I don't know. Yeah, it's a difficult one, because he might not, in his case, because he didn't shoot himself like a lot of them do. Yeah, like the cowards they are. He didn't shoot himself, and so it's difficult. Maybe I haven't read his manifesto, so I don't know what's actually going through his head. But if killing him is something that he was
praising Donald Trump, Candace Owens. He was praising a lot of right wing pundits and stuff like that.
I know about that, but I'm just wondering, like, if you kill him, is that something that he wouldn't be anticipating? And like, is he expecting to just go to prison for the rest of his life, or like?
It sounds like you're trying to figure out to give him what he wants the least.
Exactly. That's the thing. All I believe in is punishment. Like, if you do something wrong, then you gotta pay the price. And ultimately, in this case, like, as long as they don't, because you hear about these stories about people going to prison and they're mollycoddled and actually have a decent life in prison, then you're defeating the purpose. But I don't think that will happen in this case, because he's a mass murderer. The only thing is, it can be frustrating, especially if you feel like connected to it somehow, or you have a stake in what happened or whatever. If it can be a bit frustrating when you hear about, okay, he's gone to prison, but what happens next, and then you never hear about like what happens to him afterwards. But yeah, it's one of those things people shouldn't. I don't think people should get too stuck into it. Like, whatever happens. Like, if he goes to prison, that's the main thing. That's how I see it. You pay his dues there.
I'll let you have the word started on that, Will, before we move on.
He summed it up pretty well. You want to give him what he wants the least.
There's hardly any way to really truly know that.
That's the thing,
because he's not going to come out and say it.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm surprised he didn't kill himself. So he obviously wants to be a martyr in some way.
Yeah, exactly. Remembered, worshipped, idolized, member. In the history books.
I wouldn't. So I think killing someone's the easy way out.
I agree. I do agree.
I think you put them in isolation the rest of their life. Yeah, that's torture.
I know it sounds like we're indulging torture, in a way, but a mass murderer, I really have no. That's where I'm just out of the. I do not. You can call me a masochist or a sadist, to any degree. But after you kill that many people in a peaceful place, and then asking for fame, you can fucking burn 1 million deaths out of you and shit.
But maybe you got to get someone coming about mental health, and you know, you got to get somebody like coming out with
fuck them.
These white men are not getting the support they need, and suicide in white men are higher, and all this, and you know you got to get all that with somebody.
You know what, man? You should watch. Did you watch The Punisher season 2?
I watched the first episode
on Marvel.
I thought,
they brought the villain back, that guy who killed, you know, and they tried to sympathize. It's so funny because I feel like in
Which guy?
The guy
Jigsaw, whatever.
Yeah. They brought him back, and he had amnesia. But then they tried to make him sympathetic, even though he killed Punisher's family. And even he's like, yeah, I did that, but you didn't do me wrong. You should have put a bullet in my head, even though I killed your whole family. You did me wrong, man. You did me.
Oh, Jesus. The one that are cancelling the whole thing, man.
Yeah, they explore something like that, and I was just like, why am I watching this? Why are you exploring? What there was a psychiatrist that felt sorry for him, even though he was guilty of all these things. I'm like, you can go to hell as well.
But that's the thing, they're trying to make a sympathetic villain, which everybody wants, don't they? They always want that sympathetic guy that you can, or person that you can relate to.
Well, they say society loves villains, like, you know, in terms of films,
the anti-hero.
TV, that's what people seem to watch and gravitate to for some reason.
Please leave another message at voiceofmail.com.